All right, welcome. It is October 15th. Welcome to the CSI Secret Store meeting. And just FYI, again, just not that it's a problem on this call, but we are under the CNCF Code of Conduct guidelines. So just be kind to each other and everyone will be okay. I'll see, again, if you're new, feel free to add yourself to the attendees list so we know you showed up. And with that, we will go ahead and kick off the meeting. I'll moderate, and we have Rita doing some note taking for us. So first on the agenda, this is Anish to talk about the Secret Store CSI driver GA stability. Take it away.
Right. So I started a doc basically to go over the criteria for graduating the driver to stable, and also the criteria for different providers to become GA and stable. Jason from the Vault team had brought this up the last time, and I think when we started the community call, we went over a brief list. So this is just a more detailed list of what we want to do before we consider the release is stable. If you want to open it.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and show this.
Yeah, also I think Rita had a chance to review it, and she's added more details to it.
Okay. So is there a call to action? Do we need other eyes on this?
Yes. So we need more folks to review this and also add more comments, whatever we are missing, so that we can have a confined list, and then we can start working through that to working through all the items in the list, basically.
Perfect. Okay. So yeah, if anyone has some cycles, when are we hoping to move forward on this initiative? Is this a week, couple of weeks? How long do you want to give people time to be able to look and provide comments to?
I would think that probably before the next community call, if we can get folks to review this and then have a consensus on all the documented features and also all the improvements. And I think once we have that, we can basically translate these into GitHub issues and then start picking off from GitHub issues and working on those parallelly.
Okay. So call to action if those that care, if you can just look through this.
Let's also post this in the Slack channel to give more people a signal that this is here and we're looking for feedback and comments as this is going to impact users and all the providers. One thing that would be super helpful is, based on this list, is there anything that the providers think the driver should have but is not here currently? And as you can sort of see in there, buried in there is, there's also like, a bit of backward compatibility, and it touches a little bit on the release process once the driver goes to stable. We didn't really talk about that here, but I think it might make sense to as we get close to locking this down, we should start looking at creating a separate document for what does backward compatibility mean, and what is the support for n- whatever version, right?
Right.
And we need to have that kind of contract as we go to stable. So I think this is a really good start. But yeah, definitely looking for more feedback. I guess maybe a question for other folks on the call, like, do you think 2 weeks is enough to get some feedback for this document?
I think I can review it from my side by then.
Yes, okay. I think it's a good time frame as well for me to actually be actionable on this to review it.
Okay. Should we have a, do we want to use next community call to kind of just go through this? So should we have that as an agenda item?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so we'll focus on this doc for the next meeting, which will be on the 22nd, I believe. Okay, Anish, anything else to add?
No, that's it. I'll post the link on Slack, and then so that other users can see it.
So we'll get the link. Okay. That's it for the main stuff. I just want to let those know, specifically those that are consuming the Azure provider, that we have an initiative. We're going to be changing kind of all of our standard GitHub markdowns over to what's getting popular, which is the static site representation. So we'll be using the Hugo static site generator, and specifically the Doxy theme. I think Google created the Doxy theme for Hugo, and the Kubernetes.io site actually utilizes that theme as well. So so just heads up, nothing drastic other than we're just trying to beautify the content for users. And what's nice about those templates is it really makes the interaction from users. If they're reading some of the docs, they can directly kind of edit it and get PRs into it. So it really involves the community a little more in how those docs are presented out. So that's it. So yeah, it's a quick one today. If there's no agenda items, I'll leave it open if anyone has anything else that they want to comment on and or discuss.
Yeah, just to add to what Phil already had for the CSI provider, I'm also looking at doing something similar for the driver as well. So since the driver is part of Kubernetes SIGs, we can request for a Netlify account from the Kubernetes community. They should help us with setting up one, and then we'll probably host a site for the driver as well, so that we can write more extensive documentation for features and also add more demos.
Yeah, if you've not seen this, I'll just go out. Here's an example of what we're doing with our Azure pod identity. So we basically, again, just taken all the markdown from the GitHub repo and put it in this kind of static site. So again, as users go through this, if they got a question, or they can easily create a document issue. This will take them out to actually do a PR, etc. Well, I'm not logged in, so we'll go through that. But yeah, it just really, get feedback. So we start to get a little signal, and even with the these things, you can actually do some Google Analytics as well. So you can actually see kind of which pages are more popular, maybe where you can focus some time on ensuring that documentation is correct for users. All right. So that is it. Anything else from anyone? This will be.
I have
no.
I guess like a small ask specific to the Azure provider,
Yeah,
primarily for Anish. So I'm looking to add kind of to help contributors adding the dev container. And originally it was going to be a PR that would include the dev container, debugging support, as well as allowing you to run the local end-to-end tests within the dev container. And I think since the change, it did require it to be a little bit more large of a rewrite. So in this case, I think, is it cool if I just do 3 separate PRs at this time? So hopefully just a couple of files for the dev container, just to hopefully get that merged in and people can start actually using that. And then a second PR for the debugging feature, and then a third PR for the testing.
Yeah, that works out because it's also easier to actually just review the small PRs and get them merged quicker.
So hopefully I'm going to try to get the dev container one out today and started to rewrite, at least filter out those pieces.
Cool. Yeah, also there's the end-to-end PR in the driver. I've reviewed it, and also I think Tom from HashiCorp is. So Tommy, whenever you get a chance, it'll be nice for you to just take a look. So that
Okay.
the review is just waiting for some more comments, and I think after that they'll make the required change. So
Okay, yeah, I'll take a look at
thank
that.
you. Also, thank you for getting started with the GCP test. We merged it yesterday, and now it's running as part of our pipeline.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, that should have been an announcement. Yay.
Yeah, yeah. Congrats.
But actually around that, like, are you planning on adding it to the README?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to see the test pass and it merged, and then I'll add some more integration tests and send some. I think that's about it for like adding it to the README. Are there any other things I should look out for? Obviously, I'll do the doc on like the GA stable for additional things. But... Okay.
Nice. Okay. I think that's it for this meeting. We'll give you guys back good bit of time here. Just one last thing. Anyone else? Any comments before we close out? Anyone? We good? All right. Thanks for showing up, and we will see you in a couple of weeks on the 22nd. And again, we will broadcast out on the Slack channel to review the stable GA proposal that initiative is out there. Thank you all, and have a great rest of your day.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Signals.